Good evening, Rando fans. Welcome to another presentation of the Final Fantasy I Randomizer 2021 Spring Tournament, brought to you by us at the Final Fantasy Randomizer community and Randomania. I am Demon RHK. I'm joined here in the booth with some play-by-play by Demon Frog. Demon Frog, how you doing?
Doing all right. You see
So
we already have a bit of divergence on the party screen. Reese really likes black belt. Make sure to get a black belt in there. J-Man going with Fighter Thief Red. I don't know that I've seen this tournament yet, so we'll have to see how that works out.
Yeah, absolutely. We got some hot action and hot from the Agama pod here. On the left-hand side of your screen, you got Reese. Reese currently sitting at 2-0, looking to finish their sweep of the Agama pod. Wants to let us know, as for their fun fact, that no number from 1 to 999 includes the letter A in its word form. They are a member of the 2020 Duck Derby and the 2020 Lich's Low Limit Table Tournament. And their favorite enemy is Team Blue Stake. They love them some Tyros. So on the other side, we've got Jman1865. J-Man is another fact here. And keep it on our numbers. 2 plus 2 equals 5 for extremely large values of 2. They are a 2-time duck, 1-time double anti-bingo participant. And their favorite enemy is Lich. Must like to feed the Lich cake. J-Man is currently 0-1, looking for their first win to secure at least a shot at the play-ins and maybe even keep alive for the auto advancement at the 2-win cutoff. We'll have to see how this plays out for both of our runners. So yeah, we've definitely got some divergence here. We got the fighter black belt, so you have your choice of melee carries into the red mage black mage. Whereas on the other side, we are not taking the black mage, where our casters are double red, and we're taking the fighter and the thief probably for the early running ability, since in this flag set, everything is runnable, save for the bosses.
Yeah, it looks like J-Man might be kind of playing into the blessings a little bit. Fighter rolling plus 15 magic defense, thief rolling with 20 vite. Those red mages rolling each with 40 vitality, so they're going to be really, really big by the time they get to Temple of Fiends. And perfect timing, we are off.
Yep, we're off. We're in the corner area. Let's see what we go ahead and get here. We're going to jump into Black Magic first. We're going to jump into Black Magic. We have Sleep 2. We have Zap and Lock 2. There we go. We have some nice early clears. Zap will be able to take out most of our early enemies. The M-Def isn't really that high. Flipping over to White Magic, we've got Life, but it is locked out. Oh, Cure even is locked out, so we've got nothing at White Magic.
Yep, neither runner deciding to take a White Mage, missing out on that low-level life. And just to round out the blessings, Black Belt rolled. Fighter Strength, yay! So, if we get an early Mazmoon, that could help get a grind off the ground, but Strength does not affect Black Belt attacks at all, so that's kind of a worthless blessing.
Yeah, that's only going to be useful if you find an early iron or an early iron stick or some early high-rolled nunchucks to get use of the strength. But once you hit level 21, that's absolutely worthless. Armor, we got bucklers plus 4, which isn't terrible. Our coppers rolled up and are pretty cheap at about 700. Reese is immediately re-rolling the party.
Yeah, so let's see here. He had Fighter Black Belt, Black Mage, Red Mage. What is he? Oh, wait, did he? That's the exact... Did he... I think he might have reset not meaning to. That's the exact same part he had.
Yeah, I think he might have accidentally reset before the save, which is a little rough, or maybe overspent.
Yeah, because I wasn't a comment. He did make that item check. I always like checking that item shop. If you have a cheap cabin or a cheap tent that you can pop right outside of Temple of Fiends, that can save you a wipe. And yeah, he might have overspent, thought he stayed at the end, and didn't. So that's about a minute he's going to lose. Only buys one this time. Saw a cabin in that bottom chest. We got a big chunk of money. Opal -3, so that's just effectively more money.
Yeah, you're not going to want to equip an Opal 3, especially with the power bonk and the pull, even with a fighter, so that's just going to be some cheap cash.
Yeah, that's something that's been kind of a bit of a story in a lot of these races, is early money. Where do you get it? This one, we got about $3,000 in a chest and an Opal that usually will sell pretty well. That'll get you through Provoca, maybe even some level 3 spells, kind of get you up and moving.
Yeah, not to mention if you decide to, if you're really hard up for cash, you can make the Matoya stop on the way over to Provoca. With the canoe, it's not as bad to get up there and back. You get your free steps on and off the rivers, plus you can just cut straight across rather than having to go around.
Oh, and J-Man giving back Reese the time he lost from not saving and having to remake that party. The same pack that just got Reese got J-Man, and he just couldn't get away.
Yeah, this is where having that one early camping equipment can save you so much time.
Yep, it's worth the 15 seconds to grab a cabin, grab a tent, and pop it. Even if not at the entrance, halfway there is still a lot better than having to walk all the way back. And even J-Man could have. He had that cabin there. You could, since you didn't buy it in town, run out right now, pop it, and then check these chests and or kill Garland.
Yeah, so Reese brute forced it. Didn't take the zap on the first round. Reset, ran back in, took the first zap on the second attempt. So it's got stuck with bones on the way between, but once we get away from these, we will be clear to check our item. All right, King Steve says explosives, TNT. And beside, we got the ship from Princess Sarah.
That's perfect because we do have free canoe on. You can hit up doors a little bit easier than the dock by docking in the river and using the canoe to get up and into Dwarf Cave. That's 2 chests for some early money and another turn-in. But Reese deciding not to. See, I don't like this, because if that happens to be floater, you're kind of going out of your way now. I would have liked to have seen him do that first, and grab a couple chests to make sure that you're perfect, get as much money as you can before this Provoke Elfland area.
Yeah, I can understand it though. You want your level 2 magics. You want your free-ish item from Bicky. I don't hate this decision. Answering a question in chat from Kumog, the sprite differences. We do allow our runners, if they want to make sprite upgrades. I do believe the specific one that Reese is using is a specific one that the community does favor, known as the Valkyries of Light. Basically, more female-based sprites for all the different Light Warriors here. And as long as they make them identifiable or name the characters after the classes, then we will absolutely do not have a problem with this. A little bit of customization, a little bit of personalization for each of our runners.
And I didn't see white magic. I did see black magic though. Ice 3 and fast, level 2. That is great. Ice 3, the most powerful of the elemental sweepers. Really good to have it early. You always want fast. Oh, and Reese, all right. Floater, we're off to the races, so forget what I said earlier.
It's 50-50. You go one way or the other here. You're going to end up doing them both anyway. Definitely looking out and getting the floater here. Already having the ship. Can go down and immediately turn that in. Probably docking at the river mouth over on the mountain range.
J-Man. All he wanted to do was make your life happier, and he got rid of the poor hooray dwarf.
Dishonor.
Right, so
on his whole family.
I think the only thing I saw reasonable at level 2 white was Harm 3, which isn't bad to grab if all we have is ice. So you have something for your undead packs, and then you have something for everything else.
It's not the worst. I mean, Cure 3 in a pinch, but yeah, Harm 3 is probably the best thing if you're going to be doing the early dives of Marsh or Ice.
Yeah, you have Ice 3 and Fast and Black Magic. You'd be crazy not to take that, so... Yeah, between Harm 3 and Cure 3, I'd take Harm just to make sure I had something to take undead packs down if that's where I end up needing to go. But with the Earthy Floater, the world's your oyster. But we're level 4, so the world isn't so much your oyster. And the seas are going to be awful because there's lightning 2 things in the ocean. Fantastic.
Just deja vu. I think if that was the shark with the too, that's definitely deja vu. But yeah, that is not safe seas. You want to find some cheap camping equipment so you don't run into that.
You see, Reese has 2 cabins left, and he should be able to get to the floater and then get some free chests, get some checks, get some items, check some trap tiles, and we'll see if we're on A side or B side. That is one thing we have is tri-state trap tiles. They could be all of the vanilla tiles just shuffled, or they could be what we call B side, where there's just random encounters you would never see on a trap tile. So we'll have to see which of those we get. Our sages give us the rod, so we have access to all of Earth now.
Yep, we got all of Earth. That might incentivize. You're not going to clear Earth this early, but it might, put it in the back of your mind. Hey, maybe I want to go check some trap tiles this early.
Yeah, if you happen to find a trap tile and you decide an early grind is your thing, and you're right there, you very well could punch through. You also could, if you can just get enough to get, well, I don't really have much in the way to take down Lich. Harm 3 on one mage isn't going to cut it, but there is a couple of trap tiles beyond the rod that you could, if you're confident you can take a Lich out where you're at, you could go down there and check those tiles and still clear a Lich out.
Yeah, absolutely. Answering a question in chat for Hamilton. Yes, this is on this flag set. We do give them free canoe this year to kind of change up, switch up routing. It was really done wonders. So you're going to see a lot of interesting things here. Not as much with the early floater, but it really incentivizes a lot of earlier ice plays and a lot of earlier ordeals play. We've received Ice Tea from Sarda. This is a fun percent flag. The Ice Tea is actually the Ruby. So the Ruby, Sarda was locking himself out if you didn't have an airship here. You can choose to have it be another element, like, you know, instead of a ruby, an emerald or a sapphire, or it can just be junk food. In this case, it's just some iced tea.
You know, it's clear, he clearly wanted to be left alone. so he locked himself in that cave as best he could.
Right? And now he just robbed him and took his drinks.
Alright, nothing in the Provoke armor shops. I missed that the first time around. Reese is going to go ahead and turn this TNT in for a white shirt. That is obviously not required. We have 2 items in the pool, Power Bonk, white shirt. White shirt's out of the pool, so now we know. And we also have, on Reese's side, we have the Ruby out of the way. The only 2 really dud items, quote-unquote, would be the Tail and the Power Bonk now. Both of them having a fighter. For J-Man, Tail is not a bonk item. He definitely wants that. Reese could take it or leave it, depending on how he wants to work that fighter or that black belt.
Yeah. I really think, personally, I think I would very much consider an early Marsh dip here, because you still have 1 inner sea item in the canal that's outstanding between 2 locations here. And I would like to see if I can do the ice skip, because anytime you can skip ice is amazing.
Alright, so heal 3, level 4 magic, level 4 black. There we are, fire 3 and warp.
Alright, so if we have to go ice, at least we have warp.
Ooh, and a crown, okay. So Reese doesn't look like he doesn't have the money. Gloves plus 3 actually aren't that bad. We found our gold bracelets that rolled neutral for 32,000. I know cardia checks are usually frowned upon, but we need some money, because money means fire 3, warp, that crown, all kinds of fun stuff. I don't hate the idea of a cardia check. I could also see just saying, yeah, let's see what damage we can do in Marsh.
I think a cardia check first would probably be best. I think Reese is going to agree with you here. I'm going to cardia check for some cash here, and then probably dip into a dungeon from there. That's not a lot of money. That's an item. That's better.
That's a little bit. That's a spell. There's another spell. Okay. There we go. Yeah, this is yeah. So we came out of this with 12 grand
18,
or so.
20.
Yeah,
that was like 15 grand out of that cardia. That's not bad. J-Man picking up his rod, checking level 6 magic, seeing temper at level 6 black.
Oh, and something I do all the time, you accidentally fight with the black belt, or the black mage. I don't know if Reese has camping equipment. I like to try and save before this one. Only 3 chests. A lot of times you reset out. I'm okay.
A cabin at about 4.5 grand. I mean, it could be worse. It's another spell. You're almost up to the point where you can fully stock on people. I didn't see exactly how much. I'm sure our awesome tracker has this.
I didn't see how much the spells were. I know the crown was about 12,000. Then you had fire 3 and warp at level 4 to try and accommodate. Oh, okay.
Hey, Banesword's nice.
Banesword's nice, but if it sells for enough and I need it, it very well might be on the table.
Alright, Reese's gonna go over and check the desert caravan here. Probably looking for some cheap camping equipment. And not finding it.
109 cabins aren't great, but they'll get you. They'll get you through.
Alright, we're coming back up. we're going to go ahead and we're going to dive Marsh before we go buy our spells. Not the most massive fan, but it's a check.
Yeah, so he burns that first encounter. We're going to try this upper room. The way I've been playing this Marsh is, because one of the other flags we have, in case you don't know, normally when we incentivize a dungeon, it's a specific chest in that dungeon. It's always that chest. You know exactly where to go, and you get your item. This year, the entire dungeon is incentivized, so the Marsh item can be anywhere in here, other than behind the key lock. So it could be in this upper area of 4 chests. There's only 4 chests, and one of them is actually linked with a chest you passed by going south. If I don't feel comfortable with my levels in Marsh, I'll check here first because it's a bit quicker. So I kind of agree with Reese doing it this way because like you have to go quite a bit further in and out to get to those lower chests. So check up here, see if it's here. If it's not, okay, I gotta make the longer walk down south to try and dig it out.
Unfortunately, not finding it here. I don't know if we're gonna go. Yeah, we're just gonna reset out. We got one fight for 200 experience. It wasn't worth it.
Yeah, I can agree with that. We're gonna see if we can't. We didn't see anything bad yet, and we do have a light axe. That's one thing that's actually not. Although I don't. Bane sword's the wrong thing to use there. Yeah.
Yeah, Bane sword for scorpions, light axe for everything else. Light axe is a harm 2 or harm 3?
Harm 2.
Harm 2.
Yeah, it should clear. It'll clear the bones. It may or may not clear the R bones and most of the other undead here. It should at least thin the herd. Now this chest that Reese is walking by, that is a chest that is linked with one of the 4 in the top.
Alright, so let's get our bottom checks.
There
Oh, first chest!
First chest, we got a key. That's great. That opens up 3 grind tiles. That opens up an incentive location at Corneria Lock. Now we got to get out.
That's going to be the challenge here. I mean, if you're even feeling froggy, it unlocks grind tiles down here as well into the Marsh Locked, but nobody's that froggy.
I have been burned many, many times, getting a little greedy and going, I can check a few more chests. I can check a tile. Oh no, never mind. Yeah, the key opening up, like I said, 3 grind tiles, 6 chests, and actually not 6 chests, a lot more than 6 chests, Jeff. 6 chests just in Temple of Fiends and Northwest is what I was thinking, but you also have Elflin Castle and the Dwarf Armory that you can check.
Yeah, it's something like, I want to say it's 7 or 8 in the Armory, 4 in Elflin Lock, 6 in Corneria Locked, 5 if you don't count the key item, 3 in Topher Lock.
Alright, Jman, I'm going to see, got Heal 3 is a 4.5, but that is not a red mage spell, so we can't get that. And we're going to get the good news, Fire 3 and Warp at level 4. So we're going to definitely want that before Ice at least. The earlier we can get some Warp shots, the better, especially we're in the air. Ice, Waterfall, and Ordeals are all looking really good, but you'll want some warps to make those checks a lot faster.
Yeah. So it looks like we get out with the key. Reese is going to go buy our level 3, level 4 stuff here. Turn in that key. We're going to hope it's not the canal.
Yeah, it could be the canal, and I mean that would be unfortunate, but with a number of chests and grinds and everything it opens up, and it is a required item. There is a locked door in Temple of Fiends revisited, and we have no idea why, but it's there. I don't know that anybody knew that until the randomizer came out. Someone got the loot, went to Temple of Fiends, and said, "Wait a minute, I can't get through this door." So we do need that anyway.
Yes, but it's more about this is right now less about what is in Corneria Castle and more about it not if it is the canal or not, because if that determines what is in Ice.
Yeah, and what Demon's speaking to is the ship and the canal are guaranteed to be in the inner sea to kind of help prevent them being unnecessary. We already have the ship, and we have a couple of checks left in the Inner Sea. Yeah, if we get the canal from Corneria, we know ice is going to be, well, not the canal. It may be the tail, and therefore not required, but it's not going to be a complete a dud.
Exactly. Whereas since we already have the floater, if we don't find the canal here and it's forced in ice, we can theoretically, if we find grind tile somewhere else, completely skip the dungeon.
Yeah, and J-Man found stone poison on one of the undead, so it kind of ran into a bit of a roadblock that Reese didn't see. See if he can dodge it the rest of this dive.
Alright, Pro Ring -3,
There
canal.
we go.
So there is something in ice. Undisclosed something, but something nonetheless that we probably are going to have to look for. Again, that's not always a bad thing because I did.
Oh, okay. Corneria Locked is turning up all kinds of good stuff. We got the Pro Ring -3, Opal Bracelet +1, and a Mazmoon. It did roll down. That's fine. Mazmoon -2 is still pretty darn good, and we'll get a grind off the ground a lot faster than a Black Belt just sitting there tickling them until 21.
Exactly. That's going to be huge for your black belts being able to do something damage, especially since that is a weapon and they have the fighter strength.
Yeah, that Corneria Locked is like begging you to get your black belt grind going. Like, here's a Mazmoon, here's an Opal Bracelet, here's a Pro Ring, now go.
Alright, we're going to talk to Astos. We're going to fight an Astos who knew the kindly old king was a bad guy all along. Ice 3, unfortunately, has got really high mem def, but Bane Sword says no.
It's the herbs. We're going right back to where we came, but I would be shocked if Reese did not make a quick stop off into these... Yep, these tiles. Check these 3 chests, check these 2 tiles, and we'll get an idea of what kind of trap tiles we're dealing with today.
Yeah, hopefully if these go properly, we'll at least know if we're on A sides or B sides.
That's a B-side.
Yep, Guard Sentry's a B-side.
Guard Sentry isn't bad. They only have Lightning 2, but if the Sentry rolled down, Sentry's really beefy normally, so they can be really, really tough. If they happen to roll down, I don't hate the Guard Sentry grind.
Yeah, they have to roll down, though, because they are quite,
absolutely.
Quite beefy
Absolutely.
vanilla here. The other trap tile is absolute junk.
But 45 grand. Okay, go get your camping equipment. I get it.
Yeah, so houses are no longer going to be a concern. The other trap tile is just junk. It's the Danny Special, Spiders and Arachnids.
Alright, right in this neck of the woods we have Earth, just to the west, Temple of Fiends locked. Up to the north, all 3 of those tiles are completely safe. The off-step won't get you an encounter, so we can have a couple more checks here. I do like getting this turn in, though, because we do have 5% per key item, so the more key items you can rack up before you start that grind will get you going a lot faster. So I actually don't hate that it was a crystal. That's just, like I said, that's another key item. That's another 5%. Just keep racking it up.
Every fetch quest you do now is a fetch quest you don't have to do later.
I got 3 chests here we haven't checked earlier, so we can go ahead and hit these up.
So J-Man picking up the Opal and the Pro Ring, it's like, oh, this is nice. I'm going to play around in my inventory. Then picking up the Massa and going, oh, this just got better.
Key to crown to herb to crystal to slab. It just keeps going. Did pick up, I did see, I think it was a flame armor rolled, I think it was +2. I think it looked like it rolled up, so that's really good for that fighter.
Yeah, that's going to be really solid for the fighter here if we decide to keep it around. I think that's going to depend a lot on what we see grind-wise. Cure 4.
Red Mage Learnable Wall, also, which is really, really good. If you have a couple shots of wall going in Temple of Fiends, that makes you feel a lot better about going in with 0 or 1 ribbons.
We're going to translate our slab. We had bracket 5.
Alright, J-Man deviating a bit. Let's see if he can punch through ice. This is a little dicey. Please laugh. It's the Chaos Comedy Tour. Please, just give me this. I don't know. I didn't see his levels. So I don't know. I can't imagine he has enough for a shot of warp yet. Maybe he does. That'd be a very heads-up play if he made sure he had at least that one shot. He does not. So I think that's what he just checked.
Yeah, that was like 6 across the board on the red mages. Yeah, that's not going to get a cut.
So Reese just continuing to follow this chain. This chain, really hope this turns into something, because this is a potential time save for J-Man if this ends up being a tail or the power bonk. But it is required. That is another one of our fun percent flags. We have multi-instrumental Sarah. She not only hands you a loot, but we have a whole plethora of different instruments she can give you. So that chain was required. We now have everything we need to get through Temple of Fiends. We just need the orbs and the ability to get to those orbs.
Yep, we are still missing a chime, we're missing a cube, we're missing some oxyale. Everything else is already in place.
Yeah, we have J-Man going through ice. We know it's going to be something. We still have Tail and Power Bonk as the quote-unquote whammies, even though they will be beneficial. And then Ordeals and Waterfall.
And then from there, we should have our access to our other 2 incentivized dungeons, being the Oxyale for one possibility in C, and either the Chime or the Chime and Cube, because it could be in the top or the bottom of Sky.
Right, that's one thing. Oh, Blue Stake. Yeah, you try. You gotta try. Yeah, well, that's one thing with the entire dungeon being incentivized. Sky is... Mirage and Sky are considered one dungeon in total. Oh, J-Man, what are you doing, buddy?
Sandwiches!
You have a Mazman and a sandwich and a completely free sandwich station.
It slices, it dices, it'll cut the crust off your sandwiches.
I take my subs, everything, plus honey mustard and hots. Although that Mazmoon, between being -2 and not being super high, even with the Mazza, is having a bit of a rough time getting this one sandwich down. There we go. Oh, he didn't have that many heals, it looked like, either. Yeah, he's got 10 heals. So, we're going to try to get at least a little bit out of this.
Yeah, let's see if we can get up to like 12, 13 maybe.
Yeah, I definitely don't hate it. Yeah, Zap actually would work pretty well.
Yeah, get somewhere we can get some warp charges for once we decide that Ordeals is going to be on the table.
So we'll take this grind until we feel we've given as much as we can give in terms of having enough resources to get out. We found where the pro rings are for sale. They're -3 at, I believe this is Crescent Lake. Yep, Crescent Lake, along with silver bracelets +2 for $2 grand. Much more affordable than the 36,000 golds that we found. I believe we're in Elfland.
Yeah, I think we take 1 or 2 of the silvers for now.
Yep, just slap those on everybody except for the fighter, and that'll get you by good enough for now.
Yeah, combined between that flame armor, the opal Cheerio, and now a couple of silver Cheerios, you'll be great.
And now we'll see if J-Man kind of just did the calculations right of between resources, time, and everything to get in and out of this ice in one go, because you feel real bad taking that time to take a couple fights and not being able to come out of this. He's trying to take these wraiths down. I don't hate it because he does have that light axe. Get a little more experience before getting out of here. He's level 11 across the board, so he will have a shot of warp on each of those red mages. 2 shots, actually, yeah. So that'll get him moving in and out of all kinds of places really good.
Yeah, now that he's got warp, that's going to trivialize a waterfall. That'll make Ordeals a lot easier.
Brocade +2, that's always great. That's a shield slot for your mages. Or even your thief if you want to keep it on your thief for a bit. Wizard stick,
Wizard
some money. We have a trap
I mean, you could try to confuse Carry with it, I guess.
So now That actually isn't a bad trap tile either if you had... Oh, they hit kind of hard there. Never mind. Now, Reese has that black belt and the Mazmoon and is about to wander upon that sandwich station. So we might be leaving Reese here for a little bit to get as much Jersey Mike's as he can get in him.
Yeah, if he bought heal potions before coming in here, because of having gotten all that money from especially Cardia treasure chests, we could be here for about 10, 15, maybe even 20 minutes.
Alright, ice was required. We got our cube. Now, Jman gets a bit of an ambush on the way out. Doesn't... the Wraiths hit hard. But he has that Thief. Should be able to get out of this.
Yeah, required, but unfortunately does not unlock anything. So we are, at this point, down to Ordeals and Waterfall.
You know, with where J-Man was, and just having... It's obvious he's looking for levels. I don't hate the idea of dipping into Volcano and checking those 2 tiles on B2 while you're here. That looks like... Yep, that's exactly what he's going to do.
Yeah, Reese putting the Bane Sword to work here, too.
Yeah, Banesword, Sandworms do not have that high MDef. They have really low morale. They usually have low defense. They're not the best experience, but the base stats are so low that they generally are very good because you can take them out at lower levels than when you could get another grind going.
Yeah, the only problem is if we end up doing a full party here, or just getting levels on a full party, they're going to start to break morale and just start running from you.
I wouldn't be surprised to see if Reese is going to commit to this grind. I would not be shocked to see him unequip that fighter. And he does have a effectively full stack of heal potions. So let's see. I'll be curious to see. He's definitely healing that black belt up. And leaving the fighter... Oh.
I mean, you just walk out and just step on all the tiles, I think, here. And just, take the damage tiles down for the rest of your Light Warriors.
Alright, Katana -2, defense +5 on J-Man's side. Defense +5, I'd be pretty okay swinging that through Temple of Fiends. Also gives you the cast of the Ruse spell. Really good evasion magic, so that's kind of endgamey weaponies. I'd be okay with that, both offensively and defensively on J-Man's side.
Oh yeah, defense 5. That's definitely serviceable as an in-game swinging weapon, even with a lower crit rate compared to your Massa. But the Ruse is arguably the bigger coup there.
Oh, I forgot that quick they had Massa. I'm like, alright, never mind. And yeah, and Reese taking your advice from 10 minutes in the future of using those damage tiles to get that fighter specifically down within a swing or 2 from that sandworm. So the morale check is not a check of everybody in the party. It is just a check of that top slot. So if you can get that top slot down before they will morale break these worms, they will not run. So that black mage is down, put that black mage in the top slot, and you're set for this sandwich station.
Yeah, you could take this all the way up if you wanted.
Oh, okay. He's in okay. My light axe isn't going to work, but he's not actually trying to kill it right this second.
Nope, he's just showing the sandworm the impressive array of weapons and armor he has, so that the sandworm can beat up the rest of his party.
But not the Bane Sword. Don't show him the Bane Sword. J-Man? What did J-Man see? He is going... Oh, Perilous with Glance. That's how original. Oh, and Crack.
Perilous Stink.
Oh, that's no good.
That is absolutely no bueno.
Because you see those in Waterfall as well. And Ordeals? Am I going crazy? Ordeals too? I might be going crazy on that.
It's possible. I mean, between Ordeals and Waterfall, we have to pick up either the Oxheal or the Chime from one of those 2 locations.
I guess J-Man just didn't make it out because he went back to get this defense, and I mean the katana is money if nothing else. So I guess he just didn't quite make it out after grabbing loot in the armory that first time.
Yeah, it's got a slight. It's only -1. It's got a slightly higher crit rate than the katana, than the Massa. If you want to promote here on that thief.
Well, Jman's going to want to. Jman doesn't have the black belt, so it's just a straight upgrade for him to promote ASAP. Though right now, other than, let's see, what magic would they have? They have ice. Well, they have ice 3 and fast. Fire 3 on the ninja. White magic didn't roll too super favorably so far for that knight. I don't think there's really much usable. I think there was... Heal 3 was level 4, so that, yeah, there's not much that knight's going to get in terms of usable magic.
Reese is 22 over here. It's almost time to toss that mass onto the ground here.
And it's 6 one way, half dozen the other. They're dying in an attack round.
Fair enough, true enough. Jman checking up some freebies here on Agama floor. Are we going to check? No, we're going to check everything. Now, this is the thing about bringing a fighter party. You have to do a ton of extra looting.
See, yeah, especially... Oh, okay, Aegis +3, that is a good find. Now, one thing I am going to argue against this is if you're going to be checking these many chests, there's no reason to be in Volcano doing a full clear right now. You have sea and sky that you are kind of you have to compulsory check those chests because they're both incentivized. You have to, you're digging for something. I'd like to see him hit those areas first and hit Volcano last, so you know if or what you need.
Yeah, I mean, it's turned out to be a decent decision. We've got the Aegis, we got the defense, we got a katana, but you want to, if you're going to be full clearing, especially Sky, that's a better place to full clear because the enemies are so much better experienced too.
Yeah, and there's a reasonable chance, although, let's see here. If Waterfall or Ordeals, okay, so there is a chance that Oxyale somewhere is in there, but either Sea or Sky is going to be one of our quote-unquote dud items. So depending on what order you do them in, you might be able to go mode one of those two. He did pick up an Ice Shield +1 also, so that's not bad for that fighter until we get promoted for that Aegis.
Yeah, we're doing a full clear. We're even doing the Far East. Nothing in there. One of those chests is linked to, I believe it's one of the chests in the upper left.
That is one I'm not sure which exact chest. I know it's linked, and by the time I get there, it's empty. I do not know which exact chest it is linked to.
Alright, so we're still on sandwiches. It's still Jersey Mike's time. Firehouse, Penn Station, whatever your poison is.
Alright, picking up another light axe, Ankylo tile. That's another thing. There are a couple tiles down here J-Man could be looking for. With Mazmoon and Fast, I don't hate his odds against Carry.
Yeah, so question, is Reese going to stop at 32? I think if you're doing this, you take it all the way to about 38, and then you just get the last 4 levels naturally as you're clearing fiends.
Yeah, he has a lot of game ahead of him. He hasn't touched the northern continent other than to turn in the slab. You have a lot of experience. There's no reason to go straight to 42. Yeah, 38, 39 should get him to 42 somewhere in Temple of Fiends if he's taking the odd encounter here and there as he goes. And this is pretty deep in a dungeon to have to walk out, but he's going to do it. 32 it is.
32 is not bad. You've got, I don't know if I've been trying to, okay, we got away. I'm going to say, you've got a light axe, you got a bane sword, so you can take care of any formation that really comes at you here.
Yeah, it's more the one-off of insta-kill of some description, whether it be, Zap, Bane, Brack, etc., etc. With that 32 block belt, it's not quite we're not at Rib and MDef yet. Those spells still have a greater than 3 and 256 of hitting. So there's always that little bit of, did I not see something? Uh-oh. J-Man on Carry.
Just the 850 punch on those hot wings.
Alright. We're chipping away here at Carry with that Mazmoon. Let's throw out some chip damage, Ice 3s. 56 damage, just enough to take him out.
All right, Jman gets through. First orb lit, 37, call it 35. Reese just got to get through, grab the cube. Now it's just a matter of getting out with these levels.
Question in chat, are there Death Touch? I don't see why not. I don't know that I've seen it. I know I've seen more than my fair share of Mute Touch for whatever reason. But I have seen Stun Touch. I've seen other touches. I don't see a reason. I'm double checking the flags.
Oh yes, I can firsthand tell you that there absolutely is Death Touch, because of where I saw it about a week ago. There is absolutely one Death Touch that is randomized among the monsters.
Alright, Reese, rather than trying to run away, says, guess what, I spent some time at the sandwich station. Gets his cube, gets out. And at 32, he's good for all of the game pre-Topher, especially with fast. He should be able to blow through everything he needs to. The question will be, is 32 going to be enough for Temple of Fiends?
With fast, it should be.
Yeah, the big thing's going to be what spells and skills did Fiends roll first slot. If they get a Bane, Zap, etc. off, that 32 Black Belt, again, it isn't quite at ribbon levels here. So still susceptible to a bunch of the insta-death spells and skills. So, and Reese just following in the footsteps of Jman, just at a much higher level, will have much less of an issue getting through here. And we'll likely check a lot of less chests. I assume Reese is just going to blow through all of this.
I feel Reese may check the free chests and the free chest in the armory on Volcano 2 here.
Nope.
We're zooming it. It's we're not even gonna look for a ribbon. We are done. We are done. The game is over. Give me key items. Give me fiends.
See, I don't dislike this because you kind of have to say, all right, I put time on the table with this grind. I got to get it back somewhere, and I know there's other dungeons later that I'm gonna have to clear anyway. So I'm gonna hang my hat on getting what I need from those dungeons where I have to make those checks.
Exactly. You're banking on I'm gonna find a ribbon while I'm clearing sea or while I'm clearing sky. I'm not gonna touch these dungeons. I don't have to. We're going right through, and it's going to be over.
And like you were saying, even if, like, let's say you could knowingly go mode sky, it's not a terrible idea to just grab some chests along the way, because Reese did that grind really early. Those mages are going to be super squishy, so I wouldn't mind seeing him get some experience on those mages as he works his way through sea and sky, so they can survive the odd AoE spell from the Fiends Revisited.
Yeah, because the thing about sky is if you're going to be clearing it out, there's a lot of places in there where you can get really good encounters. As I was talking with somebody last night here on commentary, it was Sky 2. Sky 2 is amazing. Gurmadusas, Mud Goals, Eyes, Manticores, a lot of things that usually roll pretty low and just give tons of XP.
Yeah, almost every encounter on that Asterisk room is worth it if you have a way to take it out in the first round. And we get our adamant from our waterfall, so we don't know yet if that's going to be required. We're going to take a quick peek here.
Just taking a quick look for some heal potions. Maybe take a look at the magic if we decide to. Reese deciding, since we're going to be blowing through low-level dungeons, we're going to continue to blow through another low-level dungeon. Lich is now on notice.
I don't hate it. That way you can just say, other than, when I pick up, the adamant or whatever, that, the lower continent is done, other than key item turn-ins. So you can just focus all of your effort on routing the northern continent.
Yeah, so Jman gonna come down here. It looks like we're gonna turn in the slab, or
I'm trying to figure out what Jman.
Oh, he doesn't have the slab yet. He's gonna at least check out Gaia. See what's here. Level 7 Staber. Oh well. Level 7 Fade. Eh.
We shouldn't be getting high enough to where level 7 charges are going to make or break us, unless it was fast. Then you'd kind of be eyeballing, you know, can I get at least 2, maybe 3 hits of that level 7? Even then, that'd be a bit of a stretch, but...
Yeah. Bare minimum, you need, if you're going to take fast and you're going to go for fast, you need, in my consideration, 2 charges, Kraken 2 and Chaos. The third one for Tia 2 also can help out.
Yeah, I would have liked, because, so, I'm not sure what J-Man was looking to get out of that check, though. We're unpromoted, we have only red mages. If we wanted to check, you know, wait till we have the bottle at the very minimum. So, I'm not sure why he stepped in there, but we have the knowledge at least.
Yeah, it was mentioned in chat. Could J-Man have blanked that the crown was in Elfland?
It's possible, yeah, because he could have been checking item shops and forgot that that crown was a turn-in. Because he doesn't have the according to the tracker, he does not have it. So he could have forgot that he already should know where that shop item is.
Meanwhile, Reese, blowing through this, we're already down to the very end of Earth 4 here. Oh, cheeky trap tile check? No. Rurus.
And this is another one of our linked chests. We can go ahead and check a pure. There will be now... Oh, and finds the whammy pillar. But, oh, J-Man, you have warp. What are you doing, buddy?
Go to start. Go directly to start. Do not pass go. Do not collect your key item.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and walk through this. It wasn't too much of a walk. You can warp back if you take a wrong pillar. You can use the warp spell to go back and give it another go. And there's some kind of speed bump on the left side of the screen. I'm not sure what it is.
130 for the Master Swing. 700 for the Black Belt Swing.
An enemy that nobody listed, not a single person, for their favorite enemy, the Argoyle. The poor, ostracized Argoyles.
All Goyles are terrible. Alright, so it looks like Reese is going to be right behind J-Man. We're going to have a little bit of high-fiving here in Ordeals, it looks like.
And see, now, J-Man's kind of hit, like, for me at least, that critical point of I've been in Ordeals for so long, I've started to forget which pillars are which way I've taken. Have I already taken this one? I know I said 112, but I don't remember which room 112 was.
No, it's like you're like, okay, it was top, 2, bottom, and then you can run into one that loops you back in a different direction, and you completely get turned around. It's like, oh, no, I don't even have a clue.
Yeah, I think J-Man's hit that moment of, uh-oh, I don't remember where I'm going.
Yeah, meanwhile, Reese is like, okay, warp, we're not doing Pillar 1. We're not doing Pillar 2.
Come on,
we're not even
Pillar
doing
4.
Pillar 3. The one thing I will say about Ordeals is you got some decent experience encounters. Medusas aren't bad. Zombies are fine. Zombie dragons are great.
Yeah, and that's something you see on J-Man's side. He wasn't able to really use that sandworm tile nearly as well as Reese was. So now he's kind of digging for whatever he can. He took that zombie, he took the Medusas, whereas Reese can just pretty much blow through most anything he wants to at this point. Because even at that low level, one thing that we have to remember is that red mage had plus 40 Vite. That is not a very high level red mage at all on Reese's screen, and up near 400 hit points already.
Yeah, so here's the difference in levels and warp makes. Reese is now on the exact same square as J-Man.
Yeah, and J-Man, Cerberus is not terrible, especially with Ice 3. Definitely is not, like, you don't want to be riding this too high. But with J-Man, just he needs experience one way or another, and this is how he's going to take it. hate it, but it definitely would have done him better to be if he had those heals ready for that sandwich station. It looks like our incentive is going to be Oxyale, vanilla chest.
Oxyale in the last chest. And some cremating giants on the ambush. Yeah, I don't hate the... I don't hate the Cerebus grind here. At least your party up to... Okay, I think I'm good on it now. I would have said like 15, 16. We're already 18 across the board on everybody but the thief. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah, Reese having a bit of trouble.
Yeah, sleeping. Our party went to sleep.
Yeah, that's one thing. So, with the vitality on that red mage, that's fine and dandy. We don't have MDEF yet, though. We have no ribbons. We have... I don't know if he was able to buy pro rings. I don't know if we have any kind of resistances on any of our characters right now.
I think we have a couple of free pro rings. That's about it. We're 32 on the black belt, which is good. Not ribbon level, like you would have a 42, but it's still decent along the way.
Yeah, so the path is clear for Reese here. He's gonna go to sea. That should get us our sky access one way or another. There might be a chain in there somewhere.
Yeah, we're gonna go to Waterfall, get our adamant. We're gonna go to sea probably. The good news is, since we have the cube and not the chime, we know we're not doing the awful. I should have went to Mirage because Mirage had the cube.
Yeah. Around this time when you're making these northern continent checks, if you have the chime and not the cube, you're kind of starting to sweat because there's about I did fuzzy math said somewhere in the neck of 40% chance of a key item landing in the Mirage section of Mirage Sky. So it's almost a coin flip if something's going to be there. It could be the cube to get you up into Sky. It could be your floater. It could be all kinds of fun things. I had a practice where it was a required double dip because it was a fetch chain to the cube, which is always fun.
Alright, so Reese heading through Waterfall. The only thing of note in here is going to be the Paralisks. Alright, we're going to drop off our adamant on the J-Man side.
And that is our... Oh, okay, so it continues. So now this is where J-Man could potentially pick up time. Because we still have the tail and the power bonk as quote-unquote whammies. If J-Man, if this bottle turns into the chime, he could conceivably go mode both sea and sky. Although he needs something. He needs to do something about his levels between here and there. But he could skip checking chests if he wanted to. He has Mazza. I saw he had a flame armor roll up. I believe he had an ice shield rolled up. We got pro rings we can slap on. We want a ribbon. That'd be good, but equipment-wise, other than ribbons, he could make a run at Topher if he got the levels for it.
Yeah, and if you're going to take a 3-man, you can take a 3-man at like 24, 25 with a knight.
Yeah, though unfortunately, you're not going to have the ability to get anybody up. We saw Life was White Mage, White Wizard locked. I don't know that I've seen Life 2, so it rolled somewhere pretty darn high. Tail. Okay, so that chain not required, though. I'm sure J-Man is going to be happy to see that. We have that Aegis we can slap on. Start getting some charges on that ninja. Get some gear on that ninja as well, because that ninja will be able to use that flame armor and that ice shield as well.
Mm-hmm. So Reese going to go ahead and clear Kraken side first, kill the Kraken while we're looking for that key item.
Yeah, for people who have watched and been in spring tournaments of yore where we had loose items, we treat C the same way. We always take Kraken side, full clear Kraken side, hope we find our item, and if not, we get to do our walk of shame over to the mermaid side. And yeah, Reese taking some fights here and there, trying to pile a little more experience onto that red mage, and honestly the fighter with that Masmoon, and a couple more levels, had 15 MDef. Could make for a nice tank to take a couple hits to protect that black belt and Temple of Fiends if we have enough hit points to survive.
Oh yeah, they might have the MDef even without a ribbon to take some, a lot of nasty spells here. So no look so far. We've got about 8 chests left. Ooh, red D's.
Not a bad. I mean, if we needed it, not a bad tile. We have low level ice 3, so that could have been a pretty decent grind if we needed it. Oh no, Arsa Hags with Lit 2. This is what had Lit 2 on the seas in the beginning. Oh no!
This could end badly.
Oh, and Wissa Hags have Ice 2.
Ice 2. That's a reset. The good news is you don't have to check all those chests that you didn't already check, but that is awful.
That is not... I mean, that's relatively... Like, there's a good chance you're going to see 1 or 2 of those encounters on the way down again. That is pretty gross. You can see that encounter in
Topher, if I'm not mistaken.
That is bad.
So once again, like C living up to his reputation of being terrible.
Yeah, and again, whenever you think of this monster's horrible, it had crack or toxic or nuke or ice 3, or something like that. No, something as inane as some lit 2s and some ice 2s is all it took to bounce Reese out with a 32 black belt.
Yeah, it's a little bit different when you're fighting one thing that nukes you compared to getting octuple lit 2'd.
Yeah, and since, like I said, I was just mentioning, nobody opted into that white mage, so whoever goes down stays down. We have no ability to get anybody up once they go down in a dungeon. Oh, J-Man, about to feel the pain. Let's see if he can get out. He gets out of it.
Yeah, managed to avoid the pain train.
Does not heal up. Oh, he is playing with... I'd say fire, but it was lightning. And catches
there they
the
are
encounter again. And all of this, J-Man is just burning time now. Chime found on Reese's side, on Kraken's side. J-Man on Mermaid's side, and getting just roasted by these Arsa Hags.
Yeah, and turn order is not doing J-Man any favors here.
Oh, what do you, like... Yeah. Throw a nuke out, try to see if you can't catch them.
Oh, they have hold. Why not?
Oh, I'm okay with this. I'm pretty okay with this. Okay. We cleared out the Arsa Hags. We know that the Wissa Hag has the Ice 2 in the chamber. There it is. So J-Man, meeting the same fate that Reese did from that very innocent-looking Arsa Hag pack, getting bounced out by just getting Lightning 2 and Ice 2'd.
Yeah, you hate to see it. It is definitely one of the risks with these big packs, like the Arsa Hag pack, the Seafood Party pack, the 8 and the 9s that you don't want to see. Meanwhile, we got a Kraken 1 going on. We're gonna fast.
We know what the plan is here. Fast Mr. Punches, swing with the fighter.
230. Oh, the fast goes off first. This is gonna be big.
We double
Kraken punches. We punch back. Yeah, it wasn't a ton of damage, but it was more than enough to get the job done.
All right. Reese lights his third orb. About an hour mark. You feel okay. Not great, but not okay. You still have you can go mode Sky, because Reese is in go mode. He has everything he needs. The only thing he could want for right now is a ribbon.
Like the one that J-Man just found on the Mermaid side. And they rolled vanilla, which, hey, at least.
Yeah, that's good, but with where J-Man is down 2 orbs, a ribbon's good, but he has got to get boogieing.
All it takes is a zap.
Yeah, that is true. Yes, so we'll see if that ribbon and anything else he can pull out of this mermaid side will be enough to make a difference. Reese about to enter his final dungeon at around the 1 hour mark.
Alright, we're going to go ahead and loot out Mirage 1, it looks like. I mean, you're going to be right here off the reset. You might as well see if maybe you can find the item in here. An X-Cow, -1.
Yeah, I don't mind. There's quite a few chests here, and the first runoff of that hard reset isn't too bad. There's going to be taking, 1 encounter for this.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to hang on to that X-Cow. It's interesting. I probably would have just reset out of it with a black belt.
Yeah, you have Mazmoon, you have, and you have enough other stuff you can be doing with those mages. I don't know that you'd really want to do X-Cal on the fighter and Mazza on the red mage unless you want to have it that way for, like, absolute emergency backup strats, but we'll see. It wasn't like a massive time loss or anything not to reset out of that.
Yeah, but if you want to do that, you're going to have to go get the tail. And we're still checking greater than less than. I mean, it's great density.
He also could just be saying, you know what, I'm just going to take a bit of a walking tour of Sky, because I don't think that Black Mage has even broke 200 hit points base yet. So we could just be trying to take anything we can experience-wise while looking for... I have to assume it's a ribbon is what Reese is after. It has to be what he's digging for, if anything.
Yeah, this is definitely a ribbon dig.
Yeah, we'll see how thorough he is, because we have Sky 1. There's 2 wings of Sky 1 that you could argue. Uh-oh, and J-Man, he learned his lesson. He knows what to do this time. He knows what's up. You got Lit 2, well, guess what? I got Ice 3. Clears out the bulk of the pack. 1 with Sahag. All you got left is Ice 2 at worst, so we can get through this just fine. Now that we know what that has, we know how to handle it.
Alright, the right wing of Sky 1 is a bust.
You can get a couple of... Okay, it looks like he's just kind of looting along the way. We'll see if I don't... Oh, man, J-Man is just not catching a lot of luck. But again, we know what to do. Turn order, has his back. Gets that first Ice 3 off, clears out. 7 of the 9. More of an annoyance now than anything.
Yeah, just a matter of keeping him down here. We're not going to actually loot out Sky 2. I would have at least looted out one of the sides if you're still looking for a ribbon on Sky 2.
Yeah, if you're looking for a ribbon, if you're looking for experience, may as well. This and maybe we'll see if we get some validation checks in Temple of Fiends, but that might be the final 4 chests we see Reese digging for, and we're just going to have to say good enough with 32 black belt and no ribbons on Reese's side.
Yeah. Got a fighter tile there. I don't like taking grinds that deep in C, but...
I've recently heard it called the suicide grind, and I absolutely love I love the idea of the suicide grind. Yeah. With the fighter, I don't know. You have defense, but I mean this particular Kraken was punched pretty hard. I don't know that I would trust a grind with a fighter this deep when I already got bounced out of here once.
Oh, never. When I know that one Wistahag pack's gonna end my night, no, I would never take it. Alright, Tier 1. We're gonna fast, we're gonna swing.
And we're splitting those fast, it looks like. The black mage is on fighter duty, the red mage is on black belt duty. You turn on one of them, but not the other. But next round, this should be locked and loaded. If you have nothing to do, at least go for the cheeky zap.
Yeah, we're just gonna use Ice 3 and just kind of and down.
Yeah, 16, 17 on those mages. So yeah, Reese. That's one thing that is a little worrisome is the black belt is not 42, and that grind was so early that the mages are going to be really, really vulnerable to anything AoE, to anything backlining, and we don't have a way to get them up.
Yeah. Nukes, nuclears, level 4 elementals, skills, all of that's terrible. Zap Banes, you don't want to see anything.
Yeah, about 2/3 of what the Fiends can do that are AoE are put your backline at serious risk here. And it's much harder for a 32 black belt to solo carry than it would be for a 42. But we'll see. We're doing a little bit of stock up.
I'd like to see Reese check the toe for trap tile just once, just cheeky, just in case.
You'd feel real bad if it was your triple I. But we'll never know unless J-Man decides to check. Alright. 104.45, Reese enters Temple of Fiends. We'll see if he can punch this through.
J-Man managed to get through Kraken 1 pretty solidly. They're 21 across the board.
Yeah, we're zoning in on what is kind of considered to be, reasonable levels for a fighter. Mazza -2, you got defense, you have fast. Mid-20s should be perfectly fine to make a actual, attempt at Temple of Fiends.
Now we got Karibes on the trap tile where the Phantom should be. We're not even going to check the 2 chests in here. We're going straight down. Ribbons be darned.
I don't hate it. At that point, it's pretty clear that Reese committed to kind of the mindset of, if I get it, I get it, and I don't, and there's no reason to, chip away 10 seconds here and 20 seconds there, checking forward, especially when, like I said before, we don't have life. We don't have a way to get someone up. If we take too much time, too many encounters in this Temple of Fiends, that could be really bad. That Black Mage is down to 145 just from one hit.
So, if it gets bad, J-Man now has Life 2 at level 6 on both of his Red Wizards.
Ah, that's where Life 2 was hiding. Red Wizard, learnable. Alright, yeah, so J-Man is pretty safe. We have a ribbon, we have Life 2. Slap, some kind of sword plus 3, plus 4, plus 5 on that Red Wizard. And, we could have some backup strats on a Red Wizard to get us through something and everybody up. Everybody awake for the next one. Alright, and there we see Lich opening with a blaze. We already have one of our fast casters is down.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. It is fast casts that are down. More importantly, it's targets for Kraken 2 that are down.
Yeah, we now with Reese, we do have the fighter black belt front line that we can tuck that fighter up in that top slot. And hopefully that fighter can take a punch or two. That's kind of, at this point, that's his job, is to take a punch or two.
Alright, Agamas, we're going to run away from them. We haven't... I think that's one of the first appearances they've decided to make for us so far this evening.
And not to forget Carrie. Carrie normally isn't very tanky, but Carrie can absolutely roll up in hits and offense and one-shot some people if she's feeling like being a little cheeky and tired of the disrespect and seeing that Kraken and Tiamat are getting all the attention.
Yeah, Carrie is absolutely the Fiend version of the glass cannon. Carrie can roll up like 8 hits, like 500 damage, and just absolutely ruin your day.
Reese showing a little bit of respect, moving some gear around, making sure we're topped up.
Alright, fast goes off first. Yep.
Oh, 11 hits for 383. 4 hits for 47. We got a little bit of
absorb. Chonky.
12 hits, 447. Throws out an ice 2. That's a weight with the Mazmoon user. 8
Luckily...
hits. Sorry. 8 hits, 544. Takes Carrie 2 down. Didn't see anything nasty out of Carrie.
Yeah, luckily her spell list rolled pretty friendly. Just a bunch of level 2 elementals. But she has really high absorb.
All right, on to the seafloor. We're a little scared. We already got bounced out of Sea Shrine once. I don't know that we can see that same pack. I know we can see a bunch of Wizzags, which did have ice too. And
yeah, we're through clean.
Yeah, that was a full run of the seafloor with no encounters. So just the way it worked. If that's a hard reset, that's good news for Jman if he does a hard reset outside. Showing respect. White shirt. And a swing. Oh, Red Mage took a hit down to 264. That is well within nuclear range, even Ice 3 range. Alright, get a white shirt off. Get a punch. 16 hits, 835. Kraken 2 is down. Red Mage is still alive. I think I just saw that Red Mage was level 18 with about 500 hit points.
Yeah, that vitality coming in huge there. That was lucky. I don't think Reese expected to get that far without an encounter and ran right into Kraken 2 without switching the party around.
Yeah. At this point, move that fighter to that top slot. There we go.
There you go.
All right. A white shirt, a punch, and a fast. We get the white shirt off. Turn order gets that fast off. 13 hits, 677. Tiamat counters, Ice 3. Again, getting that Red Mage, even with that extra Vite, down into kind of sketchy territory. Oh, punch on the Red Mage, but only for 85. Black Belt finishes Tia 2.
Alright, so we got 3 Living Light Warriors. Life be darned. We're going to get to Chaos and hope that Chaos doesn't start leading off with everything we have failed to see.
And it looks like on J-Man's side, he is making a more concerted effort to clear this sky out. He is looking for something.
I mean, at this point, Ribbon 2 or 3, Dragon Armor, I think it's about the only thing we haven't really seen.
The bonk should be here somewhere. He could be digging for the bonk.
True.
Alright, swing. 7 hits, 249. Did not get turn order. Gets the fast off. And gets the white shirt off. Chaos. First turn, rub on the Red Mage. Misses. $16 hits, 661. Gets a lock 2 off. I don't know that he needs it. I think he's hitting every time. There's not much more else for that Red Mage to do. Another stack of evasion. Another stack of evasion going on. Fighting lock 2, because why not? Lowering that evasion. Alright, 3 of 6 stacks of evasion. Fire 3 from Chaos. Just a little bit of damage, but we are in the driver's seat.
As long as we don't see a nuke come out, we're okay. No, still didn't get him on the punch.
Not yet. 16 hits, 441. Zap! Okay, well, Red Mage is down. Alright, punching that fighter, doing his job, taking the 109. Black Belt fires back, 15 hits, 340. Terminated.
Get your GGs in chat for Reese. Absolutely amazing job. Coming through here with an official racetime.gg of 1 hour, 12 minutes, 47 seconds.
Yeah, really well run. Really using, I think, especially that Temple of Fiends. I did forget to swap that fighter around, but I think, yeah, like you said, that was kind of on the back of not expecting not to take a single encounter. Using that fighter just to protect the rest of the party worked perfectly.
All right. All right, we are joined in the booth by Reese, our winner. Reese, GG. Trying to get it sorted out there. Meanwhile, J-Man still playing with our equipment a little bit here. We're clearing out all of Sky 2 here. We're going to be completely thorough on this, looking for our gear, the power bulk especially, I think, as you had mentioned.
Yep, and he still is not really super well leveled, so he could be, you know, again, just taking these higher yield fights while he's looking for that bulk, looking for another ribbon. Oh, I think we might have got you there, Reese.
Can you hear me now?
There
Yes,
we go.
Microphone was muted.
Ah, yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah, there's a button on the side of the headset that mutes my microphone. I hit it a lot. That sandworm tile was just very kind to me.
Yeah, J-Man saw the same tile. He unfortunately didn't have the money to stock up before going into Ice Cave. He only had 10 heals at the time, so he took a couple of those fights, but wasn't able to sit down and get anyone really that far. And yeah, that sandworm tile just paid its dividends for you.
Well, I went to the Cardia Islands expecting to find some sort of gear for the fighter, and instead all I found was a dragon's hoard worth of treasure.
And J-Man finding our power bunk, grabbing that.
I opened a few boxes in Sky hoping I would just find a cheeky ribbon somewhere, and, you know, maybe that would ease my fears about that Topher, because anything could get me.
Yeah, because we kind of commented in Volcano that you stopped for nothing, none of the free chests, none of the easy chests. So we knew your foot was on the gas. We were kind of saying that, yeah, you were kind of hoping for a ribbon and maybe to pile a little more hit points onto those mages, especially without ribbons.
Yeah, I mean, if I had found the tail, which I didn't know where it was, I would have also promoted and looked for Life 2 or Temper.
Life 2 was level 6. Red Wizard could learn it, so that would have gotten you Life 2 on that Red Wizard.
Yeah, I never expected that the Black Mage to survive that.
Yeah, so yeah. Did the curses go at all into your decision making process for your party, or is that just like a party that you kind of run and that's what you go with?
Not really. Like the only time I really change anything out is if that White Mage had rolled Black Mage spells, I would have taken the White Mage. But otherwise, I usually run a 3-man comp, and the fighters just added in case I found like an early Masa or gear favored it instead of the Black Belt, and I couldn't find a grind.
Yeah, but that that Corneria, a Mazmoon even rolled down, but it's a Mazmoon. Gave you a pro ring, gave you an opal bracelet +1. And it's like, hey, here is your certified black belt grind kit. Go have fun.
That early Bane sword was the real winner.
Oh yeah, with especially on of all the things, a worm tile with that reasonably low MDef. Yeah, the Bane sword kind of got you going. Along with some of that Mazda, and then off to the races.
I also managed to land the Bane on Astos.
Yeah, we did see that.
Yeah.
And Astos, for such an early
has ridiculously high MDef for his level.
Really high MDef. So yeah, so going in there with Zap or even Brack is not the easiest thing to get the stick on him.
I see J-Man's going with my my other favorite team, Red Hat.
Yeah, absolutely. Unfortunately, the ninja's eating the ground a little bit here. But we're almost up to our third orb light. The only disadvantage is that I believe J-Man has spaced on the crown for sale in Elfland, and thus does not have a loot.
Did he find the katana at least for that ninja? I know it rolled -2, but it would probably still be really good on him.
Yeah,
Found both of them, I believe.
Yeah, he's got the katana. He's got the Maz -1. I think he has the Excalibur also. So yeah, he has plenty of swords to spread around the party.
I was a little sad about the Excal rolling down. I would have been happy if it rolled up and thrown the Masa on the red mage.
Alright, J-Man making short work of Tia. Still has Lich to go, but again, that would explain because we saw him popping into different places, popping into item shops. Yeah, I think he might have spaced on that crown. He's in that neck of the woods. Yep. Okay.
The
exactly what he's
Elfland
doing.
item shop is awkwardly located and throws people off a lot.
Yeah.
It says exactly what he did. He went to Provoca because you don't go to Provoca for items unless you absolutely have to. So he's making his rounds, doing the world tour of shame that we've all done. Going, I know I saw it somewhere.
Now here's the real question: where were Nuke and Fade that seat? Jeez.
Fade was 7 in Gaia, bottom slot. I don't know that I've noticed Nuke, so I'm assuming level 8 because I don't think I saw it either that or 7 in I don't think we saw 7 Gaia.
Well, I certainly didn't see it because I never check 7 and 8 magic.
Let's see here.
Yeah, if you're taking a black belt, there's never a reason to check 7 and
8. Normally, because I prefer to run primarily only red mages, I never check anything. Half the time I don't check 6, because it's just wasted time most of the time, because of them not promoting.
Okay, yeah, can confirm Nuke level 8 in Gaia.
Okay.
And then level 6 was Temper. I don't know what slot that might not even been learnable.
If it's not slot 1, it would have been unlearnable to the red mage at least. That poor warp slot Brack too. I was sad about that.
Alright, so J-Man found the crown, bought the crown, is going to drop the crown off, and we will be fine.
It looks like he was trying to be a little cheeky and skip a step. Went and talked to the prince before I got the herb. There we go.
There was a very nice sort of reverse order thing, herb to the crystal.
Yeah, this was a bit of a... Was it this one that was a bit of a chain? There was one chain that was just never ending. Oh, it was the to the loot. So this is going to be the crystal, then crystal to slab, then slab to loot.
Mm-hmm.
The thing was, like, I've never seen J-Man race before, so I wasn't sure where to even think he'd be at during this, because I don't watch as many races as I used to.
This is still pretty good for taking pretty much a full party, rather than just finding a grind tile and sitting on it. Pretty well 22, 23 across the board here. Probably, we're an hour and 20 in. We only got to go through Earth, drop off. So we're probably looking at like a 140, 145 here maybe, I would estimate.
Still a very good time.
Still a great time. J-Man, never going to ever forget a crown again. Bought 11 of them, so we're going to make every one of the world royalty.
Right? I feel like I probably could have saved some time on my grind if I had actually not been dumb and used the ice damage tiles earlier.
At least they were right there. I mean, it made it super convenient.
Yeah. In Volcano, I'm so used to the Agama tile from vanilla trap tiles, and like I'll use the lava all the time, but when I find a grind in ice, I never remember to use the damage tiles.
Alright, so J-Man turning in the slab, gonna get it translated. Only gotta make one last run to Lefane here.
Yeah, this is just an unfortunate chain, just taking you all around the world.
Hopefully he clears Lich before going to turn this in.
Hopefully get back to the airship. I got all these little enemies trying to get in the way. Looks like, yeah, we're gonna go to Lich first.
God, I saw, like 5 encounters on the Lich floor of Topher.
Yeah, but then you saw so this is a comment I had during the encounter. You had not a single encounter on the water floor, ran straight into Kraken, and then froze for a minute like, I forgot to take the black belt out of the top slot.
No. It wasn't that I forgot to move him. I intentionally left him in the first slot.
Oh, okay.
He had better armor on than the fighter did. Because he was wearing the Opal +1.
Sure.
So one thing that you and J-Man had in common was having a little bit of fun in Sea Shrine. Our Sahags, Wiz Sahags.
I knew they had Lit 2 because I saw it on the sea, and then I didn't respect the Sahags at all. And when you don't respect the Sahags don't respect you.
Yeah, and then just to rub a little bit of salt or ice in the wounds, the Wiz Sahags went ahead and said, "Oh, Lit 2, we can do better."
This
They're nice to at you.
This is payback for my insulting their formerly unrunnable status.
Yeah. Fine.
They're like, "Oh, you want to run away? Too bad."
Yeah, J-Man learned that lesson, and he pivoted. Like he saw that encounter, I think, twice on his next dive, and instead of running, he swung at the Wiz-Sahag and ice 3'd the rest of it down, and got through it just fine.
So he probably won't see the same encounter on seafloor of Topher, because the only hard reset I did was fat fingering the reset key at the beginning of the game.
Oh yeah, we did notice that. We're like, why is he repainting? Oh, I guess he wanted to get life. And they made the same party. We're like, oh.
I accidentally hit the reset key.
Okay, we thought maybe you bought too many cabins or something and thought you saved at the end. Or
I just
something.
happened to have my hand a little too close to the keyboard.
Ah, okay. Well, unfortunately, J-Man ate some kind of wipe in Temple of Fiends, and you guys were pretty much knotted up coming out of Garland, so you both had some adversity early.
I was just say, you want to talk about bad? That Garland was just like, nope, I'm not going to get zapped. so I reset to get my zap charges back.
Yeah, that's a play I love doing, is checking the item shop, and if you have cabins or tents that show under 100, then great. That's something you can throw up right before Temple of Fiends.
Houses were so expensive.
Yeah, with the early airship though, you kind of both were able to get in the air, and you both. Well, J-Man saw that crown around the same time you did when he was making those early checks, just to kind of brain hold it. But made the Cardia checks, try to get some money, because we saw Fire 3 and Warp at 4. We knew we wanted Crown. We knew we wanted. We knew we needed some camping gear and stuff. So kind of go make those checks.
Because of the reset, when I found the floater, I actually felt like I was really behind.
You were first in the air. J-Man did some walking around, did check some chests early. Like I said, he had an early wipe. And
did he sail the river system the long way, or did he go down?
No, he went down.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I actually see that a lot. Is that when people find the floater in Provoca, they sail the long way through the river system, and it's much slower.
Yeah, because you have a much lower encounter rate when you're in the ocean, so it's better to use that boat.
Not that I didn't have to reset out of Lit 2 twice.
Yeah, the oceans were bad, and I missed what enemy it was that had Lit 2. I thought maybe it was the shark. But
it was the Arsahag.
Yeah, it was the Arsahag, and that's the worst one that could have it.
Yeah. And it's like, I know that group is in Sea Shrine, and just didn't even think about it. Because I'm used to seeing it on the Mermaid side. I very rarely encounter it on Kraken side.
Yeah, it's only on a very few floors there on Kraken side, but unfortunately I ran into it, and it just... Yeah, the Sahags are never fun, even runnable.
But yeah, like I was saying though, he might have a much harder time through that Kraken floor, because I am a firm believer that hard resetting isn't worth it. You just take the encounter table as it comes.
And what we're about to see at about 127, J-Man entering Temple of Fiends.
Did he find the robot chicken in Sky? I didn't see.
No.
He did not.
I was hoping for a robot friend to show up, because I was going to punch him.
Yeah, that probably would. It probably would have been a nice chunk of experience on the rest of your mages too, because he probably wouldn't have survived, but maybe one punch.
Because that's one thing is you found that grind so early. That 40 Vite on that red mage was kind of a godsend with how early you put those mages down. That the red mage still came out of it with almost 500 hit points, even at level. I think
Red
it was
mage
18,
taking
19.
a Kraken 2 and Tia 2 punch, I'll take that any day.
Yeah, 'cause that was one worry I had, was that the mages were down so early that, and stopping at 32 instead of 42, that if your backline goes down, 32 black belt can do it, but not as reliably and safely as 42. Especially we saw Chaos having Zap. I puckered a little when I saw that Zap come out.
I'm actually very comfortable on these clamps at level 32 with a black belt. I've done it enough times that you just gotta roll the dice and hope that the seed is kind to you. It's like, I know I have the damage, it's just how much does the seed want to be mean?
Yeah, and we saw you had level 4 wall on the red mage if you absolutely wanted to split fast and wall and try to keep everybody as safe as you can.
And yes, that carry was very chunky.
Oh yeah, she absorby. She very, very absorby.
All right, J-Man. We know Lich opens with a blaze. J-Man looks like he's in pretty good shape to eat that. I don't think Lich stood up too much. Just that opening turn blaze.
No, it was Fire 3 and Blaze, but neither of those are really, or Fire 2, I guess. Neither of those are really all that threatening.
Yeah, not too bad. It wasn't enough to take out your Black Mage, but it sounded like you were kind of content with the fact that the Black Mage was going to go down somewhat.
At 190 HP, that Black Mage was never meant to survive Topher. If he made it to the seafloor, he did his job, but, you know.
Yeah, squeeze as many fasts out of him as you can.
So through to fire floor here, almost a carry 2. This is probably going to be a long carry 2. It looked like that we had Katana on the ninja, probably Massa on the red.
Yeah, we were definitely swinging the X-Cal with the fighter, so we're spreading the swords out, spreading the love around. And that Katana would actually do some pretty good work with critical hits. Oh, Rub punching through on that was thief.
Seeing Rub there on carry, I was like, ooh, if this had hit the black belt, I'd have been in for a bad way.
And like we said, but J-Man, however, does have life too on those red wizards. Was learnable at level 6. So as long as we can get through this, which he should be able to.
If we're truly honest, the one I fear the most is Crack, because that one's wiped me so many times.
And get back up, Edge. Your face tanking days are not done yet. Poor Edge.
4 ninjas are always the butt of the joke, and usually by the joke we mean tentacles to the face.
I'll show him. All right, moving things around. Now that we're through kind of the easier of the two, we're gonna move that Mazmoon over to the fighter.
Sure enough, we're getting through water floor with no and oh, but I spoke too soon. Seafood part back.
Oh man, I have nightmares about that after my last race. That party, like...
Oh, this is the one you don't want to see.
Oh boy. Ice 2. Ice 2 again.
No. He gets out. Okay. Oh,
we're
go,
away.
J-Man. What the? No! J-Man!
Ambushed by waters.
Alright. Me and J-Man are going to have a talk about healing after a fight like that.
I can't say anything. I'm very notorious for not doing that.
Alright, everybody, back up. I mean it this
Splitting our
time.
life 2s. So we're down to 2. We're down to 2 casts on one, 3 casts on another.
As long as we can get through to Chaos with a fast in hand, we have White Shirt, we have defense. We should be pretty good.
Where was the defense? Because that was really the item I was after.
Armory.
Yep, Volcano Armory. Volcano Armory had, defense and one of the katanas, I think.
I was never opening those.
Alright, fast on the night, kind of... There we go, White Shirt. 3 hits, 33. Not what we want to see. Getting our first stack of evasion up. Showing a little bit of respect to Kraken. Edge, my boy, doing his job. 9 hits, 700 from the Knight. Oh, is that the defense on that bottom red wizard? I think it might have been. Anyway, 7 hits, good couple hundred damage. Kraken 2 is down. Edge's days of tanking are not done. Should have named that ninja Bernie, not Edge.
Or maybe Dan.
I had great names for my characters, and then they got ruined by my fat finger.
Edge just barely... You know what? At that point, I would have preferred Edge to die. Life 2 is just so much easier.
Yeah, that's the worst when it's like, I've only got like Cure 3 or Cure 2, but I've got Life 2. Couldn't you just finish them off with like the last 10 hit points?
Alright, we're going full offense. We are fasting that bottom red mage and fasting the Knight Ice 3 from Tiamat.
That tells me he definitely has the defense sword on him.
Yeah, because that defense rolled +5, so that's actually a pretty solid weapon there. He's got in that bottom red mage's hands. Katana swing, 3 hits, 7 damage. Not what we want to see. Lock 2 out. 8 hits, 63 damage. We were just not putting... There we go. That's what we needed to see. Stop from Tiamat. No ribbons. This is bad. Knight... I'm sorry. Jman does have a ribbon, so he's not as bad off.
Has it on the one that matters.
Alright, Knight swings. 10 hits, 608. That's what we want to see. Punches through. Alright, Edge. You know the deal.
Stop taking a nap.
We're going to get everybody else up first. Just so that you know your place. And up with you. Alrighty.
Alright, no encounters through to Chaos Floor.
We'll take a look at our equipment, make sure we got all of our P's and Q's in place. I like it. Gonna move that defense sword to that Knight, make sure we keep them nice and safe.
It's definitely a much safer bet. If you get him up there, he should be able to solo this chaos. I didn't see anything that was really all that threatening.
Yeah, I think he had a rub, which was, again, you know, with not having the 42 black belt, you always kind of... For a minute. Alright, gets that defense up. That's 2 stacks out of 6. We need to be evade capped. We got the rub on the ninja. Dodges this time. 2 hits, 2 damage. Lock 2 out, dropping that evasion by 40.
If my math was correct, he rolled just over vanilla HP.
Alright, Chaos throwing it in gives us a bit of a free round. Another lock 2. I don't think that should be all we need if we need any at all. 3 hits, 123. More lock 2. Getting ready for that defense sword from the fighter. We should be good to start swinging here, especially with that white shirt.
Well, I got some damage out of the pool noodle off the ninja.
We're going to go ahead and power the Knight up a little bit, though. Getting a power bunk off, increasing our attack and accurate or hit percent. Another lock 2.
See, he subscribes to the lock 2 school also. You gotta assert dominance, make sure he can never evade, not even in the future.
10 hits, 709. Yeah, we're good to go. Yeah, Lock is a great spell. Fiends absolutely can roll, not capped evade, obviously, with where we're at, but they can roll enough to where it's annoying. So if you can fit Lock into your rotation, it's great. Swing from that Knight, 10 hits, 697. We are probably about 2/3 of the way through. And we're continuing to stack that evasion. 3 hits, 8 damage. That Katana -2 is just not putting the work in. Knight swings, 10 hits, 619. Not quite, but we gotta be close. Fight, 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 fight. Knight goes first, 10 hits, 410, terminated.
Yeah, absolutely good job. Get your GGs in chat for J-Man as well, finishing with a final time of 137.32. And we are joined in the booth by J-Man. GG.
Thank you.
So I guess my first question for you, J-Man, if you did Fighter, Thief, Red. Is that a party that you kind of run with, or do you kind of look at the blessings and kind of tinker with your party comp based on the blessings?
I don't think I've ever run this comp before, so it was kind of going off of what I was taking a chance. I knew I was going against Reese, and I had to kind of throw a Hail Mary if I had a shot.
Yeah, well, especially those red mages having 40 Vite, you knew they were going to be tanky. The fighter rolled some extra M-Def, so that was great. And then that thief also rolled a little bit extra Vite, that'd be a little tankier. So I love the thought of saying, you know what, I'm going to roll with something new. I like the blessings the way they rolled. I'm going to try it.
That extra M-Def is probably the only thing that saved my fighter from taking that zap.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, so you and Reese both kind of had a similar fate. The kind of in C was the highlight, I think, of those poor Arsahags and Wisahag packs got you both.
I guess that makes you feel a little bit better.
Yeah, I was telling them before while you were still running, it's like when you stop respecting the Sahags, they stop respecting you.
Yeah, and kind of like the last step before Garland, so I can get back to Sarah, getting the ambush there was a nice welcome to the sea.
I also took that. I had an encounter right after Garland as well.
Survive it?
I did.
Because I didn't.
But I also lost like a minute and a half to fat fingering the reset key at the very beginning. And had to remake my party.
Yeah, so where this kind of started to deviate quite a bit was Reese took some time after getting the airship and raided Cardia, got some money, kind of did some trips. I think you kind of avoided some of that, J-Man. You kind of got into ice, and you found that sandworm tile, and it looks like you really wanted to take it. Probably longer than you did. Unfortunately, you only had 10 heals with you. Were you thinking about coming back to that tile, or were you just going to kind of take what you get as you went?
That was a worst case scenario. I knew if I didn't find anything better, I could always go back to that.
Yeah, I don't think we saw anything. We saw 4 red dragon, I think, in C. That could have maybe been okay. We didn't see any of the the 4 worms or 3 eyes or Nagas. We didn't see anything, any of the really juicy ones. That sandworm and I think a fighter tile were the 2 that we saw that would have been kind of.
I was of the mindset when I found it is like I'm gonna run this Topher, and then if I get bounced out, I'm just gonna run back to ice and take it up to 42 at that point.
Yeah, I think what also didn't help me is I jumped into ice at like level 6, so I didn't even have any warps.
I didn't have warp either. I got to that floor and I checked to see if I had a warp charge, because I was going to warp trick that room and I didn't have the charges.
Yeah, J-Man, that's one thing I did notice, J-Man, is you had the Mazmoon in hand, and even with the Mazmoon, you were so low level, I think you're only getting 2 hits with it. And with it rolling down, you weren't quite able to one-shot the worms the first fight or 2 until you got that extra hit on it.
Yeah, so I had to spell cast. I was running a little bit low, so I got a little sketchy and wanted to bounce out and save the levels I got.
Which is never a bad decision.
Yeah, you know where it is. You can get back out, and then by the time you come back, you'll have enough warps to kind of get to the tile, and then when you're done, you'll either be high enough to walk out, or if you leave a mage up, you can warp out. So, yeah, like Reese was saying, keep that in your back pocket. If you happen upon something better, then great. If not, you got enough levels to kind of get your to get you going until Temple of Fiends.
Yeah, there's always good incentive if I find sandworms, or I find an Agama, or I find eyes, I will stop immediately. It doesn't matter where I'm at in the seed. As soon as I find that grind, I'm gonna go for it, unless I have nothing to keep me going.
Yeah, I thought I'd printed plenty of exploration until I totally forgot where the vendor item was.
Oh yeah, because I was wondering what you're, because I saw you check Gaia, I was like, well, he's not promoted, and he has a red mages. What is he doing in Gaia? And then we realized you were checking item shops.
Marsh
Like,
Top
oh
Marsh.
no, he brainholed the crown, didn't he?
Marsh Top betrayed me this seed. Normally I find the key item up there, and then of course it's the very first check on Marsh Bottom.
Yep. But it's okay. So because of that, I only had enough money for like 15, 12 crowns or something.
I found like 25k gold in Cardia and nothing else.
Oh, I mean, it's good, but that hurts.
Well, no, I think I think that's where I found the Bane Sword also.
That would have been handy.
Yeah, I mean it rolled -4, but putting Bane Bane Sword on my black belt definitely went worlds.
Yeah, I can't complain too much. I had an X-Cal, a Massa, and a defense. And I was able to put the Massa and the defense on both reds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I also believe you came away with both katanas as well,
Too bad you can't dual wield an FF1.
right?
Come on, Debs, dual wield when? I want a real ninja. Give me the throw command and give me dual wield. Let me chuck those silver daggers that are sitting in my inventory.
All right, well, Reese, that puts you at 3-0 in your pod. That'll give you a nice seed going into the brackets. J-Man, that puts you at 0-2, I believe. Is that correct?
That is correct, and I believe we have the last race in our pod fighting for survival in the bracket on Wednesday.
Yeah, we still have to wait and see how exactly all the pods shake out. Odds are the 3-0s and 2-1s are auto win, and the 1-2s will be fighting it out for the remaining slots. If there happens to be room, we might have the 0-3s, but I think that's going to require some really perfect results here. So yeah, we need at least 1 and 2 to be into that play-in race come the end of the month. And who was that against, J-Man? I'm sorry, I don't have your pod up here.
Reese, do you remember? It is...
I believe it's Guelph.
Yeah. Yep, that's correct.
Okay, versus Guelph. All right. Yeah, so you guys are going to be fighting it out to see who gets a chance to get into that play-in race. So, let's see. Unless you have any more questions, Demon RHK, we can go ahead and start getting this wrapped up.
Oh, I just want to say it was a great watching you both. It was absolutely a blast. It was a great race all throughout, and I hope Reese, good luck on your 64-32 practice here, and absolutely J-Man, good luck on your race with Guelph and getting into that playing race.
Sir, I'm just let you know I am not practicing. I unfortunately don't get enough time home, and I know the moment I start practicing, I'm going to mind game myself.
I like it. Just let it come and you deal with it what you do.
Basically, it's just like I'm on the road constantly, so I can't really play the randomizer as much right now. And I tilt very easy when a seed goes bad, and the last thing I want to do is start practicing and then get a bunch of bad seeds and tilt really bad before matches.
Fair enough.
But thanks for the race. I hope that you do well in your last race. Got to get that play-in race spot.
Yep, got to run for the LCQ.
It's shaping up to be a really good tournament. So.
All right, well, let's go ahead and say thank you to Randomania for letting us take over their channel for about 2 hours. Thank you to Demon RHK, my co-coms. I am Demon Frog. I am com and doing our restream tonight. We haven't mentioned our tracker, keeping us straight, clicking all the buttons, letting us know who's got what shenanigans going and tracking for us. So, thank you, Chanigan. Give everybody here a follow. And let's see, let's pull up, before we send it off, let's pull up our schedule for tomorrow. We have a bunch of races I know of. I'm just pulling it up here a moment. Alright, Tuesday, April 20th. We have 4 races tomorrow. 6 o'clock, 8:15, 8:30, 10 o'clock. Across Speed Gaming, Randomania, RPG Limit Break. Wednesday, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 races on the books. We got a couple of Bicky broadcasts, Speed Gaming, Randomania, all across the board. If you want to know when and where, who's in it, all that stuff, join us on the Discord. We got all kinds of schedules. We got all of the flags for the spring tournament. We have our Duckling Boot Camp coming up here in just a handful of weeks. Ducklings are what we call our new runners, so if you have never played Final Fantasy or the Randomizer, this is a great way to get in, get learning, have some of the best that we have teaching you what to do, how to do it. So go ahead, join us for that boot camp, get learned up, and by the time our summer tournament rolls around, you will be ready to go.
Yeah, this current batch of ducklings that just came out of the last derby are scary, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, Dead Pulse, our Duckling Supreme, won the last Duckling Derby, is also our Winter Double Ante Bingo champion and is tearing it up here again in spring tournament. So you could be the next person lighting up these brackets, lighting up these pods. Go ahead and join us. And I will let Demon RHK, since I seem to have hogged the post game, I'll let Demon RHK send us home.
All right. Once again, thank you everybody for tuning in. We wouldn't be here without you to, watch these matches and cheer on these runners. Absolutely give both runners a follow. They play their hearts out here for you. Also my code com and our restreamer here, Demon Frog, absolutely putting in the double duty and the work here. Also got Chanigan in here on tracking. Give everybody here a follow. I've been Demon RHK for us in Randomania. Thank you very much once again, and everybody have a great rest of your